This is for the woman who desires to live a creative, intentional life, who wants to slow down and create intentional space to put your hands towards making beauty in the everyday, simple moments. I know how you feel, and these are good desires. But even though you have these desires, you may still feel like this is an impossible task. I want to give you permission to say yes to living a creative, intentional life for you and for your family. It's not about creating a perfect handmade wardrobe for you and your children. Sure, that's a fun benefit to feel that I made this feeling, but truly it's about the simple fact that you are choosing to create. There are so many benefits to creating that we will explore later, but for right now, let's just focus on the fact that living a creative life is choosing to infuse intention into small, mundane moments. It's also choosing to set aside time for yourself to create, slow down, and get lost in that process. What would happen if you didn't squander this desire to create and gave attention to spending time creating? As moms, we have this innate feeling put on by messaging and also by our own thoughts that if we spend time doing something we enjoy, we are taking away from our families. I think the opposite is true, that pushing aside creative living is letting gifts inside of us lie dormant, which in turn shuts down parts of us that are actually meant to be blessings to us and those around us. Not only is the time to slow down and focus on the project in front of us so beneficial to our mental health, it is how we are designed. So tell me, what makes you come alive and fills your cup? For me, I have always loved creating things just because. I didn't need an end goal or someone to give me a project to work on. I just need to create. I have that desire in me. When I had my daughter, it felt disorienting the first few months to not have any time to create and kind of just pushing that aside for another season. It wasn't that I didn't have the time. I felt like I needed to put those things down to care for her. Although this is a good motivation, I think it led me into a place of not being the best mom that I could be and not realizing those gifts that were inside of me. So the more that I just journaled and kind of processed through some emotions I was feeling, I realized I was squandering this gift. I was putting it aside for her and to serve my family, but in turn, it was actually creating a divide. So I made the decision to just make something, whatever it was, whether I was cooking or sewing or drawing or dreaming up some idea. I had the desire to make something every day. And bit by bit, day by day, I just saw this huge change in my personality, in my demeanor, and my outlook. And I was able to serve and take care of my daughter in a more holistic way that is actually beneficial to her and to our whole family. So I personally know how much creating can change us from the inside out. And it's because setting aside that time to be fueled by the things that we're designed to do. Here are a few benefits to creating that I love to just read over here and there and be reminded of. The more you create, the more you uncover creativity you didn't know you had. Taking time to create is allowing space for your mind to slow down and connect with what is in front of you. It's saying no to the fast-paced, busy, hectic life and kind of chaos and noise that is always served to us when we open our phone or turn on the television or we're just out and we hear the headlines. It's this private space to be refueled, to process through life events and change. And day to day can build up and become this heavy thing. And if we don't process that, then it's going to catch up to us one day. So creating is a space to process through these things. Creating is producing serotonin to the brain to boost your mood. It's experiencing new growth in a skill. And one thing that I know for sure is creating creates this sense of accomplishment that becomes this cycle that you continue to experience the more you create. So as you take time to enrich your everyday life and find gratitude in all of it, this could be the simple notion of cleaning your room and putting things in place and arranging flowers on the desk and making the bed in a way that is inviting and cozy for the end of the day. It's hanging that picture on the wall that you've been putting off for weeks. It's doodling out recipes for your family that may be passed on from generation to generation. It may be sewing a new dress or hand quilting a blanket. It may just be embracing the mess and cooking a meal with your toddler, regardless of the outcome. I hope you take this permission to infuse creativity into your everyday life and just see the change that happens from the inside out. If you're wondering, okay, this is great, but how do I do this? Check out this next video on how to make space to create as a new mom.